What a headshot! What a head!
How's it guys, this is Dayvy, FPL, and welcome back to the Fantasy Premier League video here on my channel. Now in this video, I'll be taking you guys through my very own team selection for the upcoming Double Game Week 34. So Double Game Week 34 promises to be quite an exciting Double Game Week. Now not the most doubles in the world, but the 6 teams, 4 out of the 6 look super good. And let's try and get as many of those assets into our team as possible. Now I'll be trying to do that with 2 free transfers for the upcoming game week and potentially looking to take a -4 to -8 hit. Now as always in any team selection, I'm going to take a quick look at Game Week 33, see how the team is getting on. Obviously games still coming up tonight, but I'll be giving you guys the latest updates in terms of the injury news of my squad. Then I'll be giving you guys the context of the Double Game Week 34 team with no transfers made before taking you guys through my transfer plan for that -4 hit. So that's something you guys are interested in, sit back, relax, and let's get straight into it. So before we get into the actual team selection, a big disclaimer here. I'm actually recording this on Wednesday evening before the games have even happened for tonight's fixtures. So Arsenal vs Man City still has to take place, Liverpool still taking on West Ham, and the reason I'm doing this is that unfortunately I'm flying out to Namibia tomorrow. So that's why I'm actually recording this or pre-recording this video, because I still wanted to give you guys the team selection as usual for Game Week 34. Now I guess a little bit of a nice bonus to this is the fact that price changes have been super volatile, and therefore because I'm actually recording this video early on, I might have even made these changes after the Liverpool game. Now I'll be discussing the transfer plan that I'm a little bit short of cash on late in the video. Now I should put this disclaimer out there because some of this news and some of the talking points I go over in this video might be outdated while you guys watch it. But don't worry though, I'll still have access to the internet, my Discord server will run as usual, my Twitter page will run as usual, and I might even be doing a dayline stream come Saturday afternoon. So make sure that you guys will follow me on all my social media and also update you guys in the comments down below if I do make any changes. But now heading on to that Game Week 33 team review, and as mentioned I'm recording this before the Wednesday night games have even taken place, so only one of my players is actually featured. So I haven't even updated the rank because I'm on 2 points at the current moment. If you guys want to know my rank update, I have a slight red arrow of about 10k places thanks to one Tyrone Mings. Actually has a pretty high effective ownership within the high ranks, who would have thought? So his 15-pointer last night was pretty bad. But the biggest talking point, bottom right hand side, 2 free transfers and 0.3 in the bank, so I'll be using those 2 free transfers for my transfer plan. Now let's start off on our bench, and actually I'm regretting the bench a little bit because of the recent injury news that we've gotten. I've got Edison on my bench, Bukayo Saka, Luke Shaw and then Henry. So in terms of Henry and Luke Shaw, no complaints there. They were always going to be on my bench. Simple fact of the matter is that my starting 11 had better fixtures from a defensive and an attacking point of view. But between Edison and Bukayo Saka, there was a little bit of a dilemma, I guess, in terms of the benching headache. Now I'm going to bring up Kepa right now because between Edison and Kepa, I still back the fact that Kepa is going to be my starting goalkeeper, as I do trust the Chelsea defense against Brentford more than the Man City one against Arsenal. The reason I'm saying there was a little bit of a dilemma because my initial thinking was if I did bench Bukayo Saka, I was going to start Edison because I hoped that Arsenal blanked, or at least Edison kept a clean sheet. So I was almost playing the odds there of Arsenal not scoring and therefore Saka getting no returns. But we have had some recent injury news to a certain midfielder. It's going to be the Portuguese international Bruno Fernandes, which might even mean that Saka remains on our bench and therefore I should have probably started Edison. But we stuck with Kepa for now unless he is benched by Frank Lampard, so I'm going to roll with it. Now moving to our back line, we've got a Estupiñán against Nottingham Forest away. Good fixture on paper here. There have been some concerns about some Brighton potential rotation, but I feel like Estupiñán should be starting this game. Now I'm not necessarily expecting a clean sheet, but maybe Estupiñán get us attacking return, which will be quite nice. Then the double up of the Newcastle defense against Everton away. Now this is going to be a tough game. Everton obviously fighting the relegation battle, and because it is an away game, I do worry about the clean sheet. But I guess it is a good fixture on paper. Newcastle defense has been pretty strong, and Trippier does offer that attacking threat. Now moving to midfield department, I've got the combination of the United assets, Rashford and Bruno Fernandes on the left and right hand side. Nothing much to say about Rashford, he should be starting tomorrow, as he did start in the FA Cup. Now in terms of Bruno Fernandes, the recent update is that you guys would have seen that image over on Instagram from Bruno's wife. He was in a protective ankle boot. Now it's come out that that might have been precautionary, and apparently today he was walking around without crutches on. So could he be fit for the upcoming game against Spurs? It looks like it might actually be likely, and all I hope for is that if he doesn't start, he doesn't come off the bench. So I won't lie to you guys, initially on my deadline stream I said that I wasn't expecting Bruno to actually come off the bench, so if he does that'll be quite sad, because I have Saka perched nicely first there. So I said today on Twitter the worst scenario is going to be if Saka hauls tonight against Man City, and then that stress of the 24 hours deliberating if Bruno's actually going to play. But when you guys are watching this video you'll know if Saka hauled or not, so that might be better or worse. Then in terms of the 2 Brighton assets, Matoma and Solly March. Now the news came out today that Solly March, according to the Brighton manager in his press conference, he said that Solly March should be starting tonight, so I do expect him to. Then in terms of Matoma, also expect Matoma to start, so hopefully these 2 Brighton assets haul. Then finally, our forward department, my only single player that had featured on Tuesday was going to be Ollie Watkins, and he unfortunately blanked. Now, you guys know how close it was that I actually almost captained Ollie Watkins. If you guys watched my team selection last week, I actually had the Campsy armband on him. I just backed him because Aston Villa are playing pretty well, and I thought that Fulham might be on the beach. Well, that's exactly what happened. Fulham was simply terrible, but Aston Villa seemed to not get into fifth gear and almost accepted the 1-0 victory. So if you guys did captain Ollie Watkins, that's quite unlucky, and hopefully Erling Haaland doesn't damage you too much tonight. But the Campsy armband was going to be on Haaland. I think his effective ownership was about 190% in the top 10k, which just shows you how much of a perma captain he actually is. Then finally on the right hand side, we've got Harry Kane, who should be featuring against United tomorrow. Will Spurs rebound from that bad result on the weekend? Who kind of knows? Let's show that Harry Kane is in the points. So biggest updates of our team is that Ollie Watkins ended up blanking. Bruno might actually feature against Spurs on Thursday, which would block Saka if he gets any points. But let me know how you guys are keeping up in terms of Game Week 33 as you guys are watching this video. The Wednesday games have concluded, so most of the big hitters have finished. I'll obviously update you guys though in the comments down below as the game week does progress, and I apologize that I'm having to pre-record this video. Now before we get on to the actual transfer plan, I always like to give you guys the context of how the team is currently set up with no transfers made. So that's exactly what we'll be doing right now. Let's start off on our bench, and the bench pretty much picks itself for the upcoming double Game Week 34. I've got Kepa against Arsenal, Botman against Southampton, Ollie Watkins against United, and then finally Henry against Nottingham Forest. So Henry is probably the only player that I might be actually wanting to start in this game. Although Nottingham Forest did pretty well against Liverpool, I do think that Brentford are quite a strong side. So this almost screams to me as a fixture with a clean sheet and an attacking return. But unfortunately, we won't be able to play him like Botman, who also has a good fixture against Southampton at home. Finally, Ollie Watkins against United. I'm fine benching him here because my starting 11 has better fixtures, and the players I plan to bring in will also see Ollie Watkins on the bench. Now in terms of our goalkeepers, very easy decision. Ederson obviously has the double game week against Fulham away and West Ham at home, and like in yesterday's free hit video, I can honestly see 2 clean sheets here. But you guys know how it's been with Ederson and the Man City defense. One shot conceded, they end up conceding the goal, so let's hope Ederson finally regains that XG conceded. But I do trust Man City's defense as their stats have been pretty strong over the last 6 and the entire season. Now moving into our back line, it's going to be Kieran Trippier as our sole single game week option at the moment, or at least I plan to field once I've done my transfers. Now yes, Southampton at home, which is a great fixture on paper, Southampton in that relegation battle, but I do trust that Newcastle defense, and as always, Trippier is always on those set pieces and getting forward. We then have Luke Shaw, who hopefully will be playing probably both games at centre back, which isn't the worst in the world, at least he will feature, but he has Aston Villa at home and Brighton away. Now in terms of those 2 games, the expectations are super low for Luke Shaw. I expect both sides to kind of score against United, and at centre back, Luke Shaw doesn't offer that much attacking threat. But maybe one clean sheet could be had here, preferably against Aston Villa, as I'll probably be benching Ollie Watkins. Then our final defender in the back 3 is going to be a Stupinan, Wolves at home, United at home. That Wolves game could be a clean sheet, and anything he gets against United will be extra bonus. Now I do worry slightly about some potential rotation within that Brighton squad. They have quite a stacked kind of a fixture schedule with all these doubles coming up, but I hope that a Stupinan plays in both. Then moving on to the midfield department, our first double up, the United double up of Bruno and also Rashford. Now since Bruno's news came out that he might even feature on Thursday, I think he should be fine for both games in double game week 34, unless that injury does get worse. So I'll be holding on to Bruno and Rashford as it makes sense. Double game week against Aston Villa at home, Brighton away. Tough games I guess on paper, both sides are doing better defensively, but I do expect United to score in at least one of these games. Now everyone was telling me that Bruno has not been playing well, but I would counter argue that. I think he has been actually playing well. He's creating chances, getting those expected assists, but his forwards simply haven't been scoring. So if he does assist Rashford and Rashford finishes, that'll be absolute gold in game week 34. The next double up is going to be the Brighton double up of Matoma and March, double M here. Expect both these 2 options to field quite good minutes in double game week 34. And as always mentioned, Brighton's attacking stats over the last 6 are simply outstanding. So no problem owning these 2 assets, fielding both of them, as in they're very good options for the upcoming double. Now the final midfielder who unfortunately probably will be on the way out is going to be Bukayo Saka against Chelsea at home. Now unfortunately I don't think he's a bad option for the upcoming game week. Chelsea aren't the best defense, but Bukayo Saka unfortunately only has a single game week and the fixtures get tougher coming up. So he'll probably be on the way out for another midfielder, and I'll talk about that shortly in the transfer plan. Then moving on to our forward line, no brainer here, Erling Haaland currently got the Campsy armband on him because if he has the majority of minutes, could absolutely haul in double game week 34. Now if you guys do have the triple captain, I'd definitely use it on Erling Haaland this week. A nice double game week, good fixtures, and it's Erling Haaland. Then our final forward to go over is going to be Harry Kane, and the simple reason Kane's here is because I do trust them more than maybe Ollie Watkins, but also the fact that Kane probably be on the way out in terms of our transfer plan. So you guys can kind of read between the lines there. I mentioned Trippier being my only kind of single game week option, so Saka and Kane are going to be on the way out. So with 2 free transfers and 0.3 left in the bank, let's see what we're going to do there. So the transfer plan this week does rely on some injury news, or at least the Thursday night games. If Bruno does start the game or comes off the bench, he obviously will be fine for double game week 34, but if he is going to be missing the upcoming double, he'll probably be the midfielder that I also take out. He's quite expensive, so I can shift those funds around, and he would allow me to take 1 or 2 punts. But unfortunately, because I am pre-recording this video, I can't exactly tell you if Bruno will start on Thursday, but his fitness will kind of decide our transfer plan. But if I was to tell you guys my planned transfers for the upcoming game week, let's just assume that Bruno's back for double game week 34, what are the moves I'm going to make? Well, the first move is almost locked in. It's unfortunately going to be Saka out for Mo Salah. As you guys know, double game week coming up for Liverpool, Spurs at home, Fulham at home, 2 home games in a double game week, absolute gold for the Egyptian. Now yes, Saka's a great option if Arsenal win tonight against Man City, still in the title race, but the tough games and the lack of double game weeks just forced me to actually take him out. So this will be a big transfer, and as mentioned, with 0.3 left in the bank, I need to make a downgrade. So what's that downgrade going to be? Well, that downgrade, as mentioned, is probably going to be Harry Kane on the way out. Now, I mentioned this in my team selection last week. I was looking at Isaac from Newcastle, but now I'm actually looking at Greenwood from Leeds. The main reason for this is that you guys saw Ollie Watkins on my bench. We have some benching dilemmas coming up for the future game weeks, and therefore I want to go for a cheap option that gives me the funds to upgrade elsewhere. So Harry Kane is still a fine option, super consistent this FPL season, but I do prefer Mo Salah with these double game weeks coming up. Now, I haven't even highlighted the fixtures of Greenwood to kind of emphasize the fact that he will be a bench option. Please don't get him if you have to have him in your starting 11. So those 2 moves are my planned moves. I can do these moves with a lot of money in the bank. I could afford Isaac if I only was to do these moves, but now I'm going to take another -4 hit for another Liverpool asset. So the one transfer I could make if I want to bring in a Trent Alexander-Arnold would be taking out Rico Henry for Trent, and I have 0.1 in the bank to actually do this. So that's why I mentioned there's actually quite a good fact of me pre-recording this video is that you guys are going to get this video tomorrow, a day before probably other team selections. So if you guys can afford this move, you can still do it according to the price changes. Now Trent to me is almost one of the most essential Liverpool assets to have. He's nailed in that starting 11, playing a new kind of CDM position, but still getting a lot of attacking threat. So Rico Henry out for Trent is a fine dilemma in my eyes, and what I would therefore do is go for a 4 at the back, take Kane out of my squad because he's Greenwood, and sub Trent into the squad. Now yes, Brentford have a good fixture in game week 34, Nottingham Forest at home, but as you guys would have seen, I'm benching Henry anyways, so I'm not even getting that fixture. Now the only concerns I have about Trent is not the attacking threat, it's the defensive threat because Liverpool aren't the best defense in the Prem at the moment. Now games against Spurs and Fulham, at least 1 clean sheet should be had there, and that's why Trent could be a good punt to actually go for. But there's another move that I actually am targeting, and that's going to be for the more attacking side of Liverpool. It will be taking Ollie Watkins out for Diego Jota. So the only reason I would do this move is the fact that Jota is benched tonight. If he is benched against West Ham, you guys will know this as you're watching the video, but if he is benched tonight against West Ham, he should be fine for both starts in double game week 34. Jota, a player on great form at the moment, but I do have some concerns if he starts tonight against West Ham that he might be benched for one of the upcoming double game week games. Now in terms of the attack versus defense of Liverpool, I do always favour the attacking side, and that's why I would probably prioritise Jota if he was benched tonight over Trent Alexander-Arnold. Now unfortunately I can only afford one of these moves with that extra value of going Greenwood instead of Isaac, so comment down below, would you guys choose Jota or would you guys choose Trent? You guys will obviously have more context about what happened in the game tonight against West Ham, as that might actually decide my transfers. Now in terms of Ollie Watkins out, unfortunately I'll be taking Ollie Watkins out, a player that I've really loved to own over the prior game weeks, has been in great form. Aston Villa look pretty strong, but as you would have seen I was already benching him in game week 34. So if I was to give you guys my honest opinion now, it's probably to prioritize Jota over a Trent. I know Trent's a great option to go for, but I just prefer Jota. He's in great form, seems to be quite streaky, and I favour the Liverpool attack versus the defense. But you guys can comment your opinions down below in the comments. So in terms of the transfer plan, I now want to show you guys the team selection that I'll probably be using in game week 34, and I wanted to show you guys this in case you don't do a deadline stream. So you guys will see on screen right now the starting 11 that you would have seen a couple of talking points ago, and now let's go over our transfers. So the transfers out yet again would be Harry Kane out, Bukayo Saka out, and then Watkins on the bench out. And coming into our squad will be Jota, Salah, and then Greenwood. Now Kamsi will still be on Erling Haaland. I might be tempted by Mo Salah. Let's just see what happens in the games coming up tonight and on Thursday, as I do worry slightly about Erling Haaland around the Champions League as he might be rotated. Whereas Mo Salah probably not going to be rotated with Liverpool chasing that top 4 spot, and those fixtures on paper look pretty strong. But at the end of the day, like I said with Ollie Watkins in game week 33, probably everyone will be on Erling Haaland, and that's how I might be as well. But as mentioned, let me know in the comments down below what transfer you guys would prefer. Would you prefer Jota in or would you prefer Trent in? If I was to go for Trent, we would just kind of rearrange this. We'd go for a 4-5-1, Erling Haaland as our sole striker. Henry would come off the bench, who would therefore become Trent, and we would still have Salah in the midfield department. So that could also be a viable strategy to go for, but as mentioned, I do prefer the attack from Liverpool at the current moment, but you guys might be different. If you guys have any questions about your transfers, let me know in the comments down below on my Discord server, where I'm slightly more active. Otherwise, hopefully I do see you guys if I do make a deadline stream on Saturday. Otherwise, I will update you guys on my Twitter page and my Discord server. Let's hope the Wednesday night games coming up shortly are simply outstanding, and the games tomorrow as you guys watch this video are even better. But that's for everybody, guys. Hope you did enjoy it. Don't like if you didn't subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. I'll be seeing you guys hopefully with a deadline stream coming up on Saturday. Otherwise, I will update you guys on the squad on Twitter or on Discord. But I'm yourself, Dayvy FPL, and I'm out. Cheers, bye.